This time on Distant Shores, we complete our 10th ocean crossing, having traveled over 2,000 miles to the Caribbean after 15 days at sea crossing the Atlantic to make a welcome landfall in Antigua.
We're Cheryl and Paul Shard, hosts of the Distant Shores Sailing Adventure TV series. We've been sailing and living aboard for 35 years, documenting the sailing lifestyle. Join us as we begin the next chapter of global voyaging on our new Sail Orion 49. Previously on Distant Shores, we set sail from Mindelo, Cape Verde, off the coast of Africa, to begin our 10th transatlantic crossing, but the first ocean crossing for our new Sail Orion 49 aluminum sailboat. Joining us are crew members Keith and Stefan. We have been testing out a lot of equipment during this voyage in cooperation with the builder, since the boat is a new design. Mid-Atlantic, we started having engine and gearbox problems affecting our ability to generate power to keep the ship's battery bank topped up. However, the REGEN on the boat's new hybrid electric system, together with power from our solar panels, seem to be keeping us in good shape.
Welcome to a breezy tropical evening, sailing across the Atlantic in the Tradewinds. We've got about 600 miles to go until we get into Antigua, making 8 knots there, and we're even managing to regenerate some power. So we've got the REGEN on, the propellers spinning and charging the battery, and in daytime we've also got a bit of solar to finish topping it off. So we seem to be supplying all the needs of the boat pretty much. And the battery level is actually going up, so that's really cool. The trade winds are roaring along from behind us, probably 18 to 20 today, but in the gusts when squalls come by, then we end up with more like 27, 28 knots. So good, healthy trade winds, and we're reefing down a little bit as the gusts come over, and then unreefing in between the squalls. And we've got maybe some stars up there occasionally between the clouds. A pretty night with a full moon. And that helps us see the squalls coming with our eyes. But also we've got the radar working, and the radar is great because you can easily pick up the squalls in the radar. And with the Doppler feature on the radar, you can actually see if the squalls are approaching or disappearing away in front of you. So with the Doppler radar, the red targets indicate something that's moving slightly closer to us, and green targets are something that are moving further away from us. So in this case, we have a couple of squalls off on our port side, and nothing coming up behind us, so that's nice to see. And the radar's been a nice feature for this cruise, very nice. The squalls come up behind us, and come over us, and then head off to the west. So this passage is around 2,200 miles. We've got about 600 to go, so we're nearly 3/4 of the way there. And the trade winds have held pretty well for most of it, with a few light days at the beginning. But basically, we've had some pretty good winds. This rig with the 2 poles has been working great. On the port side, we've got the new precision sail out, and it's been working perfectly, just what I'd hoped. It's a nice high-cut sail. And then our original jib on the right-hand side. So welcome to a Tradewind night sailing on board Distant Shores 4.
Until we're confident in the amount of power the hybrid electric REGEN system will put into our battery bank, we have been cutting back on our power consumption, including the amount of cooking we have been doing with our electric oven. We plan for all situations at sea, so have supplies for days of delicious cold summer suppers that don't need an oven. However, this new boat sails so beautifully, the charge from REGEN is building nicely, topping up the ship's batteries, so we soon get back to regular cooking.
Another gorgeous day at sea on this Atlantic crossing passage. Today was really nice. It was just a perfect sunny day with the trade winds and the perfect trade wind clouds. The winds were blowing 15 to 20. Wind is astern, as usual in the trade winds passage. We've still got our 2 downwind poles out and the 2 jibs out on the poles. And I think this is the longest we've ever flown this rig, all in one set. We set the sails out 11 days ago, and we've hardly adjusted them. All we've had to do is when a squall comes, we can reef in one side or reef in the other side, or reef them both in if the squall is strong. And the sailing is really great. The boat rolls a little bit in the sea, but the motion is nice. We've just been enjoying a downwind crossing. So we've only got a few hundred miles to go to Antigua, a pretty landfall, and we're all looking forward to that now. But everyone's feeling great, all well on board Distant Shores 4.
Distant Shores 4 is the 5th offshore cruising boat that Paul and I have owned over 35 years of international sailing, and is the first Orion 49 built by Anxel Yachts in the Netherlands. She was designed by Kees van de Stad and is the most comfortable offshore sailboat that we've ever had the pleasure of sailing. We worked with a builder and designer, giving input on features and systems based on our experience sailing over 120,000 nautical miles, including several ocean crossings. So she really is our dream boat. Check out past episodes of Distant Shores if you're interested in learning more about the build process.
We've got only about 300 miles left to go, so it feels like we're almost there. It's kind of funny. After 2,000 miles nearly sailed, we just have a few hundred to go. I was hoping to do a bit of celestial navigation, get a couple of star sights this morning, but it's got all cloudy, so that's not going to happen. So we'll do a sun sight, where we shoot the sun, get a line of position, and run for another 20-30 miles. Take another sun sight, get another line of position, and the two cross and give you a fix. It's fun to sort of brush up on the celestial navigation skills. You never know when it's going to come in handy. The sextant allows you to measure the angle between the sun and the horizon. Then you can calculate a line of position using the nautical almanac to work out the sun's position for the exact time you take the sight. Another sun sight a few hours later will get you another line of position, and the intersection of the two give you your position. Add a comment below if you'd like more detail on celestial navigation. We've been able to keep the batteries charged using hybrid regeneration, spinning the prop while the boat is sailing. This boat is sailing so well we get the 7 knots of boat speed necessary to get it to spin, and it only slows us down by about half a knot. Go get a bit more speed with the squall, but we're going to reef down the second reef point that you're seeing up to 32 knots, was it? That's right. Later that day, the wind comes around a little, so for the first time in 12 days, we unfurl the mainsail and set the sails for a broad reach. Rather than stowing the 2 downwind poles, I decide to leave them set up so we can head back downwind again later. Distant Shores 4 has a very deep keel, adding to her excellent stability. With the keel swung down, she draws 3.5 meters, over 11 feet. But for sneaking into shallow waters, we can swing up the keel to draw just 4.5 feet, 1.4 meters. Well, this is great. We've set up the sails for a bit of a broad reach. We're making one dogleg in and then straight downwind into Antigua. She'll be arriving tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm just putting a bit of a reef in. We've got one of these squalls coming through here. So I'm just gonna let the sail out a little bit and then take the tension off the sheet and then reef it in a little bit. The squalls come through every couple hours sometimes, but you never know. We had much of a day without any squalls at all. So that's reefed in. There we go. So you have to be ready to reef and unreef as the squalls come by, and you can usually see them on radar, and they bring maybe another 5 or 6 or as much as 10 extra knots of wind. So in that case, we got up to about 28 or 29, and it's all reefed up. So we left the poles out, because I think we'll probably need to go on to a dead downwind run at the end of tonight. The winds supposed to be able to come around a little bit. I thought the poles could be all ready. We can just pull the jib straight out on them and go straight downwind. Well, welcome to the last day of the passage across the Atlantic. My goodness. We're arriving today in a few hours. We've got about 39 or 40 miles to go. We've held the wind for so much of this way across. It's been great sailing. We've had some lovely sunrises, some sunsets, dolphins and whales. We've just been having a great time on this trip. The crew's been fabulous. It's been just a pleasure having everybody working together. And we formed such a team now after a few weeks of sailing. We've got Antigua coming up on the horizon. We still haven't seen it yet, which is just over 30 miles away. We're really excited to get in and have a good night's sleep and a dinner out for sure for everybody tonight. The final morning we passed close to this ship and realized we haven't been this close to anybody in 2 weeks. And we have a lovely sail up to the tropical island of Antigua.
It's hard to describe the emotion of seeing land after 15 days at sea.
Land ho over there, look at that.
So were you sleeping well last night?
Not really. I was too excited, I think. I'm such a child.
Oh, no. We're all very excited.
Now I'm ready for an island drink.
Yeah. So this is our 10th transatlantic crossing, first time with our new ink sail Orion 49. And Keith and Stefan have been with us since November 19th, is it? In Lanzarote in the Canary Islands. We've sailed to Cape Verde, and we've all just had such a great time. We're really going to miss you guys when you leave. It's been a great crew and a great experience. We never get tired of the excitement of landfall.
The boat sailed great. We really had, she has a nice motion. It's always rolly on the Transatlantic when you go dead downwind, but she did that really well. She steers really great. And we were able to use our hybrid engine system
to generate power, which was really nice too. So we were able to keep the power going. When we first turned it on, we were about 35% power, and now we're at 66 after running everything, cooking meals and making water and doing everything. The hybrid generator system has put the power back in the bank, and we're up at 66% power now. So that's really cool too. I'd hoped that the hybrid system would provide enough power to be able to charge everything back up again, and it really worked out. So that's great.
So after 15 days since we put these poles up for downwind sailing in Cape Verde, we're taking them down as we approach Jolly Harbor.
And then suddenly the crossing is over. Cheryl gets the Q flag up and we prepare to check into Antigua at the customs dock in Jolly Harbor.
We're still having engine trouble, but no worries. We will use the electric drive to bring the boat safely into port. We're all looking forward to getting ashore and celebrating our first ocean crossing with the new boat.